Hello everyone and welcome to the farm. David here. Recently, Heavy.com's Colin McGregor interviewed DeeJ, Bungie's community manager, and he had some interesting things to say. He discusses the Cabal, the new villain Dominus Ghul, special content for the top 1% of players, the importance of clans, and even some more. So we're going to go ahead and get into that, and then at the end of the video, we'll take a look at some of the new action figures, the Destiny 2 coloring book, and other toys. I mean collectibles available for purchase. So the interview starts off with McGregor asking DeeJ about why did they choose the Cabal? The Cabal were such a minimal presence in Destiny 1. And DeeJ responds with, I think for just that reason. Cabal represented one of the untold stories, and we have been seeing scouting parties on Mars. So we as the Guardians thought that the Cabal were kind of weak, not that powerful, but turns out we stumbled on an intergalactic empire that is actually goes on to be one of the most powerful enemies we will face. The Cabal are here to steal the Traveler for themselves, to claim its light, and to claim its power. So Heavy responds with, is this a response to our actions with the Cabal and the Taken King? And DeeJ responds with, this is really Ghul's decision. So Ghul feels that the Traveler chose wrongly and that it was actually the Cabal that deserved the power of the light. And he goes on to, in the game, to say, the Guardians are weak. How could, the Traveler choose humanity over a powerful race like the Cabal? Ghul is his own hero in this game. This is his story. In the game, in the beta, he says, "You're not brave. You've merely forgotten the fear of death. Allow me to remind you." So DeeJ responds with, so Ghul's here to take everything from us that makes us heroes, referring to the Guardians. DeeJ basically goes on to say that there's a lot of content for veteran players and opportunities for them to raise the stakes, stating that Ghul will be the most difficult opponent we've ever faced, and for brand new players, they'll see everything we protected from Destiny 1 and everything that's just been reduced to the leftovers of the human civilization on what is now the farm. So then the interview goes on to say, are you looking to add any tools down the road to help content makers build out their suite of Destiny-related content? And DeeJ responds with, it seems like they're doing fine on their own. Basically, this game allows players to project themselves and their characters into the real world through built-in recording systems on the console of their choice. So DeeJ is saying, we build the world, and then the players take the world and create their own community personalities henceforth. So obviously in this section, DeeJ isn't hinting at any Destiny virtual reality or anything, but like any RPG, Destiny provides a setting and an excellent opportunity to play a different role and escape from the harsh realities of the real world. That's what video games do. But Heavy goes on to say, what some people might not know is there are some pretty serious puzzles in the first Destiny, and they're really referring to the Wrath of the Machine raid and the monitor puzzle that requires binary before you fight Axis. So then DeeJ goes on to talk about there's plenty of content for the top 1% of players, the players that want to 100% the game and do literally everything that's available. There seems to be more opportunities for the casual solo players to interact with the organized clans and work on some of these puzzles together. DeeJ describes a horrific scenario where a solo player joins up with a clan and the clan asks them, do you know what binary is? What I think DeeJ is referring to is when you go into an organized group as a solo player and maybe you've never done the raid. Good news, everyone. DeeJ says we definitely go well out of our way to appease the 1%ers, and we want hopefully for that number to go up for a bit. We want more serious players is what he's saying. You've got people that'll say, yeah, Destiny is pretty cool, man, but have you played the raid? No, I could never scrape together 6 people to go and play that with me. So just before this, and I quote, DeeJ says, so what we want to do is bring more people to the raids. That's what guided games are all about, to take the landscape of a clan system and make it accessible by the solo player who can go through a directory of clans that would be willing to take them on as a reinforcement and guide them through the complexity of the raid. Then DeeJ goes on to further discuss clans and asks McGregor if he's in a clan and would want to help the, quote, kindergartens, unquote. DeeJ says, you'll find that being a member of a clan is extremely beneficial. Every member of your clan will earn rewards as you do things, and the more you do things, the more they will be rewarded. We, touch base on the guided games again and talk about, okay, well, 2 of your clan members couldn't make it. Maybe they have to go to school early in the morning, or maybe they have to work in the morning. Maybe they were just not feeling like playing Destiny that night. Oh, you guys are screwed. What do you do? So this guided game system basically would allow you to match up with 2 more players who want to raid that aren't in your clan. This would alleviate the pain of not having a clan member show up for a raid. Now, the clan process is in-game versus it used to be on the website in Destiny 1. So that'll save everyone a lot of hassle. Close to the end of the interview, Heavy asks, I noticed the future DLC is advertising Osiris and Rasputin. So with future content, are you looking to tell more personal stories about characters we don't know a lot about? He's referring to Trials of Osiris and Rasputin, the Earth Mind AI. And DeeJ responds, unfortunately, with, I'm going to commit my least favorite cliche and say, that's an excellent question. So nothing on that yet, but hopefully we'll find out more soon. McGregor goes on to ask about bosses. Is Destiny 2 looking to introduce more unique mechanics that are tied to those specific strikes? So DeeJ states, strike bosses are certainly more elaborate than a mini boss, and raid bosses are the most difficult. DeeJ talked briefly about figuring things out while you play and mentions that sometimes brute strength is required, and he mentions that he almost spoiled something. So maybe he means there's a boss that's timed where it's a DPS race and you just have to go all in and hit him with everything you've got. We've seen that in a few raids in Destiny 1. If you don't have the firepower to kill a boss, sometimes the time limit runs out and you're SOL. DeeJ has been giving some kind of vague answers throughout the interview, and that's understandable. The game's not out yet, and we're just trying to pry for as much information as possible. McGregor asks, what do players have after they've completed the story? That is an excellent question. DeeJ responds, beyond the campaign, I think you're going to find a lot more variety than Destiny 1. The map will actually be beneficial to the player, littered with different things you can do. Instead of Destiny 1, where you would just have to randomly kind of stumble upon public events or different side quests, it looks like those are going to be on your map. So it looks like the map's going to be a lot more user-friendly. DeeJ, he actually pulls out his smartphone, pretends to look up an app like Destiny Public Event Tracker or another third-party app. So this will be a lot easier to have this service in-game rather than just wander around the map until something has spawned. The mini-map, or the map, is going to be a lot more user-friendly than what it used to be in Destiny 1, which is great. He goes on to finish the interview saying it sounds like there's a lot more lore in the game. There will be a lot more to figure out in-game, where Destiny 1 was out of game, where they held all their lore. So Heavy ends with a final question. Will you go on record and confirm the Warlock is the best class? DeeJ responds with yes. Caveat, he says, I'm not an amazing player. He chose the Warlock emotionally from a fashion perspective. DeeJ is horribly wrong here, not to discredit him. He's had a great interview and I think we've learned a lot. He's very humble and he chose Warlock due to fashion. We all know that Titan is the master race, and I'm not really into fashion, but we're all entitled to our own opinion. Aside from the interview, we've gotten to see a few new collectibles released. First off, we have my personal favorite. I've ordered 2 Destiny official coloring books on Amazon, and they'll be available starting August 8th. Why did I order 2 of them? We'll see if David, age 28, color in the lines. It's always been a challenge. There's also new action figures available from McFarlane. They look kind of cool. You know, if that's your thing, definitely pick them up. And then lastly, I saved the best for last. So you can now buy a Cayde snow globe. Check it out. That is not something I ever thought I would see in Destiny. I'm not sure why they didn't try and do that in Rise of Iron when it was a snowy atmosphere, and it'd be kind of cool to have Cayde at your side in a snow globe format. Buy it if you want. I'm not going to, but to each their own. So thanks everyone for watching. Like and subscribe to our channel, The Farm. More videos will be coming your way shortly. Destiny 2 is coming out in just under a month on September 6th, so we'll be here to cover all the latest news, gameplay, and updates. Peace out, Guardian.